Guys, so I've never used my computer to record, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do things a little bit differently. So if the quality is a little bit different, that's kind of what I'm testing because your girl doesn't have a nice camera. I usually record everything on my phone. So now we're going to do it straight from the computer. Last week, I low-key lied to you guys, and I said that I was going to post up this week a video of the makeup that I did that was on TikTok, and it was on Facebook, and it was like blue and yellow, and I will still record a tutorial of that, but it is Pride Month, so we're going to celebrate Pride. Before getting into this video, I would like to say, if you have a little bit of time, I would love if you could hop over to our podcast page. It is Lifestyle Unfiltered, or you can find our podcast on Apple, Spotify, really anything that streams podcasts. We just did a podcast this week that I was very passionate about, and I would love for some people to listen to it and give me their feedback and let me know what you guys think. So I will link it somewhere. I don't know. We'll link it. Tap right in here. I'm going to use my NYX little green Studio Perfect primer. I really don't feel like the quality is as good on this camera, for being honest. But you know what? YOLO. We'll figure it out. One day I'll have like a real setup and it'll be beautiful, and then we can not judge me. Not that I think you're judging me, but I'm definitely judging me, if we're being honest. For this video, I'm going to be dropping some LGBTQ plus facts on y'all at random times, so get ready for that. As always, I'm using my LA Girl Brow Pomade in dark brown. And as you guys know, I like to start with my eyes first because there's always a chance of fallout or something, and I just don't want to have fallout all over the place after I've sat here and done my whole face. I don't want to have to like wipe it off and then start over. So I like, oh, I don't like that. I know that much. I like to outline first and make sound effects while I do it. And then fill. Outline and fill. Outline and fill. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, boom. Fact number 1. The LGBT movement dates back to the 1920s in America. It was at least the 1920s when the first LGBT group was organized. Doesn't mean that there obviously like weren't gay people in America, or that, you know, that gay people weren't seen in America. That was the first dated time of an LGBT group, organized group. Jesus, take the wheel, 'cause my eyebrows are fucked. Gonna make them bitches shine. We're just gonna prime our little eyeballs here with our prying fingers. Okie dokie. Who's ready for another fact? It's about the Stonewall Inn, because I didn't. Stonewall Inn was a place in New York where the gay community would gather. And at that time, it was illegal to have gay employees, have any gay participants in your business. People could get shut down if one of their employees was gay, or if you were actually serving a gay person. Like, you weren't even allowed to serve gays at that time in the community. That were known for potentially having gay employees or patrons would be raided often. So on June 24th of 1969, the police came in and they raided the Stonewall Inn, and they arrested employees and they confiscated their alcohol. I want to let you know that all of my warm colors are coming from a Hank and Henry Fuego palette, which is a gay-owned company. Henry is part of the LGBT community, and he is amazing, and I love him, and his makeup is bomb. So if you don't know who Henry is, check him out. He's amazing. His mission with his business is amazing, and I love him. And he also employs a shit ton of minorities, which I love, so check him out. So, the 27th of June, 1969, early hours of the morning, undercover cops go into the bar basically looking for gay people and transgender people. Mind you, dressing in the clothing of the opposite sex was also deemed illegal at this point. Cross dressing, any type of drag, it was all illegal at this point. Early in the morning of the 28th, they say that all of the rioting started when there were women dressed in masculine clothing who resisted arrest. At that point, they started just throwing shit at cops. Pennies, bottles, and then they started vandalizing the cop car, slashing tires, like going in. So the rioters went in, and they went in so hard that eventually they ended up forcing the police to hide inside of the inn, which I find absolutely ironic. Into the bar with like crazy shit, parking meters, homemade fire bombs, like whatever they could find, they broke back into this bar with it. Eventually, everything kind of calms down, everyone kind of goes their separate ways, but that's not the end of it. Next night, people start showing up with more supporters, and it gets so out of hand that, tell me if this sounds familiar, the crowds are tear gassed and beaten by the police. I'm gonna smile because we are currently in a time where we have a lot of people who have a lot of opinions and say riots don't work, protesting doesn't work. However, history begs to differ. On for a while, and eventually everything calmed down, the police calmed down. Again, sound familiar? Started writing articles about gay people and using really terrible slurs, to which the gay community responded to burn the freaking news people down, their buildings. Let's burn their buildings down. The newspaper building down. However, it wasn't like the first of, movements for the gay community, but it was a huge turning point for the gay community moving forward. Really off topic about where I was at in the information giving because my daughter's losing it on the other side of the store. Go into some facts about being gay in America. 42% of gay and lesbian and transgender people in America are living in a super unwelcoming environment, and then like 80% of them are in severe social isolation because they feel like they have to be, because they're scared to come out or they're scared of the repercussions of just being gay. In 2009, Congress approved the Matthew Shepard Act, which says that you cannot take out a hate crime on someone due to their gender identity or their sexual preference. 2011, the don't ask, don't tell rule was lifted for our military. So now, if you're bisexual, gay, straight, whatever, it doesn't matter, you can serve in our military. Fortunately, though, transgendered individuals still can't do that. And they just can't serve openly. They can't openly be transgender and serve. If you think being transgendered makes someone mentally ill or weak, that's extremely inaccurate. White men who are straight in America are probably the strongest. You inch away from being any of those criteria makes you even stronger for the adversity that you've had to face. Person's opinion. That has been happening is that you're seeing more gay, transgender, bisexual people coming out over the years because it's slowly becoming more morally acceptable. In 2019, there was a study done. It says that 63% of Americans think that being gay is totally morally acceptable. The Supreme Court decided that the federal government had to see same-sex marriages as legal. The more social issues that come up, the more I'm happy for where I grew up and the family I grew up with, because yes, my grandparents on my dad's side were pretty racist and awful, but my dad isn't, neither is my mom. I grew up in a very diverse area, and I just never learned to hate anybody for anything like this. It's crazy to me that now I live in a place where people just hate people because of who they love and because they're a minority. Like, long time that I was bisexual, and like I've talked to my family about this, and like it's never really a conversation. I don't know if it's because they are upset about it or they just don't care. They're like, okay, great. Um, but I've always known that. And I think that I'm actually a bit confused about my sexuality to this day. It has nothing to do with being like gay, straight, bi, whatever. That like so many more definitions I've learned about since, figuring out like, oh, I like boys and girls, which I found out at a very young age. And what I've found out about myself over the years is that I just really don't care. Like, I don't care about your color, your religion. I don't care what you identify as. I don't care if you're a man or woman. Like, I literally love everybody because I see people's hearts, because that's what's the most important to me. So I don't really know what that makes me. I don't do enough of my own research on this stuff because I just was like, oh, I'm bisexual, and that was the end of that. I never really thought of it being anything else, and I just accepted that I felt how I felt, and I moved on. Sexuality isn't really something that I discuss with many people, not because I'm embarrassed about it or because I don't want to talk about it, but just because to me, like, it's a personal thing. It's very much like, well, this is how I feel, and I don't need to explain that to anybody because you don't need to understand why I feel the way I feel, and you don't need to understand why I choose to love who I love and whatever. Like, if you love me and you accept me as a person and you love me as your friend, family, then I don't have to explain to you who I'm attracted to or why or how or whatever. Like, that's dumb. And the people that are like, why? Why are you gay? Like, why do you identify this way? Why? Because that's who I love. That's who I am. Like, I don't, like, that's really all the explanation that you owe anybody. You don't owe anybody shit, dude. Like, no, it can't be prayed away. No, you can't fix it. Like, that's just who somebody is. And like, I have not really faced a lot of shit for it because, like I said, it's not something that I really talk about because I just don't think about talking about it personally, but it's silly that like people think that like, oh, we can just pray it out, it'll be fine, or like, oh, we'll fix you. Yo, you're perfect, don't listen to that shit. Okay, so I don't think the quality is better on the computer. I got like almost all the way through that video, but I just can't take it. So what I'm gonna do is in the description of this video, I'm gonna drop some artists within the gay community that I think you should follow and that you'll love, and I'll talk about some of them right now. Number one is Linneah Music. If you look up Linneah, she is literally like a gift from the heavens, and not just, don't get me on Linneah, okay? She is not just a good artist, she's a good person. She is a phenomenal human being. She is so positive, so open, such an advocate for not only the community, but also mental health and just being happy and like being good to yourself. Oh my, I adore that woman. That's a real thing. You want to talk about my biggest lady crush? I would put a ring on it so fast. Okay, but let me move on before I get real extra about how wonderful she is. I'm gonna drop her stuff, but pretty much everywhere she's Linneah Music as far as I know. And that's gonna be TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the things. So find her and follow her. Secondly, Henry. If you know of Hank and Henry Cosmetics, that is who I'm talking about. I adore him. So I have Henry's stories because I met Henry at a beauty conference, and let me tell you again, a beautiful soul with a beautiful story, a heart-wrenching story. I just love him. Started from the bottom, now we here kind of thing. But I adore him, and he has such a beautiful personality, and his mission behind his business is so beautiful. I just love him. I was fortunate enough to actually like hang and get drinks with him, and he is so fucking funny. He has such a good heart. It was definitely one of those experiences that I will never forget in my life because he just lit up my life. And I'm really grateful to have met him and to get to use his cosmetics. I'll link all of his stuff below as well. I'm pretty sure he's like Hank and Henry Cosmetics. I don't know, but I will find it. I just know he's on there. But these are some of the things that I have of his. My daughter's been like stealing all my makeup, and she stole my favorite Hank and Henry lipstick. And I can't find it, and oh my gosh, that is a punishable crime. But here's some of his lipsticks. The great thing about his lipsticks, I have more. I just have them in my hand. Oh, they're down here. The great thing about his lipsticks, literally, you take these out of the packaging and you don't have to dip them again. They just work like right off break. So I'm obsessed with that. The packaging is gorgeous. And this looks like like a stick lipstick, but when you pull it out, it's liquid. It's so pretty. I'm obsessed with his lipsticks. His eyeshadows are amazing. He doesn't have palettes. He does have palettes, but when he first started making them, they weren't palettes. They were little kits, right? And it was like a color schemed kit, and they're freaking amazing. And there was a matte, like a shimmer, and then luster lights. And I love the luster lights. They get everywhere if you don't open the packaging properly, but I didn't even care because it was like every time I opened them, a unicorn farted in my workspace, and I loved it because I love him. But anyways, I love his makeup. I have a couple of these palettes here. These are super cute. This one is the Fuego palette. It's very warm, minus the green, and yeah, minus the green. And then I have the Sweet Tooth palette, which is also super cute. It's so cute. I love this palette too. I love this coral color. It's like pinky coral color. But these are super cute. And then the other one I have is at my other house, and it's like a black and gray and gold color scheme, and it's super, super adorable. So please check out his makeup and check out what he's all about, and like check out his TikTok and like all his accounts because he's funny as shit. The next artist I want to talk about makes the most amazing wigs that you will ever see in your entire fucking life. And his name is Darius, and his business is called Kilt King. So it's KILT KING, and he is incredible. I went to cosmetology school with him. And he has been killing the game. Like, he's been killing it, and he's all over the place. He's doing photo shoots and just working his ass off. And let me tell you, that is one fly mofo. Okay, so I'll drop his stuff in the description as well. Everyone knows Jeffree Star, so I don't talk about Jeffree Star, but wings are so hard to do while you're talking. I love Nikki Tutorials, and Nikki recently came out as being transgender, and I think that's beautiful, and I think her story is beautiful, and I think that you should go listen to it, because it really is just an amazing story. I love her. I love her attitude. I love her forwardness and how outspoken she is. She's such a beautiful person inside and out, and she's one of those people that like you never hear shit about. Like, you never hear drama or crappy things about. She just seems like a genuinely amazing person. So obviously, like, you've probably heard of Nikki, but if you haven't, then look up Nikki Tutorials. Okay, I'm going to read y'all a list of queer-owned companies, and I'm super stoked about this, and I'm going to leave the link that I found this on in the description, so you can go educate yourself on those companies and decide whether or not you want to buy from them. The first one is Otherwild, and that is going to be more of a apparel company, and they give back to the community in a lot of really cool ways. Tomboy X is a clothing company. Fluid is a queer-owned beauty company. Wild Fang is another apparel company. Rebirth Garments makes gender-neutral outfits, which are really cool. They're like gender non-conforming. And they're like in a bunch of different like sizes and body shapes. It's super cool. Matriarch is a shoe company. Different Pigeon, DFRNT Pigeon, is also going to be like a clothing swimwear company. Let's see. Bianca Designs. another apparel and accessory company. Flaunt, which is Flavnt, is going to be another apparel company. I love these. Erdos & Co. is going to be more of a furniture company, which is dope because I need a bed. So if I gotta spend dollars, I gotta spend dollars. Dapper Boy, very gender neutral company. They're also an apparel company. Stuzo clothing company. Pride Factory. They actually have like really cute clothes. But menswear and men's swimwear, novelty items. Sappho Chocolates is what it sounds like. That's going to be like a sweet shop. Very cool. I dig that. GC2B Apparel. Oh, they're out of Maryland. That's a trans-owned company. Pumpkin Fish, which is Pumkin, no second P. They have a lot of like knicky-knackies, and it's really cool. Like right now I'm looking at like a bath bomb and like a placemat, so it's pretty cool. But they have a bunch of like random like knickknacks and things, so I think that's pretty dope. Homoco, they have really cute stuff, and that's also apparel. Equal Period is an apparel company, and they also give back to a list of nonprofit organizations. Babeland is more of an adult company. It's a sex toy shop, like just, it is what it is. But yeah, so check those out. I will leave the link to this in the description, but now let's finish my face. I'm gonna put some black in my waterline because we extra today. And then, I might put my eyelashes on. I might wait till the end. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'm feeling frisky. Really quickly, I would like to like bring it down and talk about something a little more serious. Anyone who knows me knows that mental health is a huge deal to me. Huge deal to me. Mental health is number one, first and foremost, always. And so, you know, we all face our own mental health issues, but I want to talk about mental health in the LGBTQ plus community. So something that they found was that LGBTQ plus youth are happier when they've already come out to their families, which I think is kind of a fucked up statement to make, because how do you say that? You don't know everybody's case by case, because a lot of times people come out and they get rejected. They get kicked out of their homes. They lose their families. They lose friends sometimes. So I think that that's a pretty broad statement to make, based on like a small sample size. Having wins for the gay community helps the youth. They did show that nationwide data from, was it January of 99? I don't know, to December of 2015, as more laws came out supporting gay rights, the percentage of suicides in gay youth was much smaller. That being said, LGBTQ plus youth has the highest risk of suicide right now. So they can't pinpoint an exact percentage of LGBT youth that is more likely to commit suicide. But what they did find was that somewhere between 5 and 10% of the LGBT youth have attempted suicide, which is 1.5 to 3 times more than the heterosexual youth. This is a quote. More than 35,000 people die by suicide each year, making it the third leading cause of death among 15 to 24-year-olds, with gay, lesbian, and bisexual youth attempting suicide up to 4 times more than their heterosexual peers. So obviously these numbers go on and on and on, and I don't want to like dwell in it. I want you to educate yourself, but I don't want to dwell in it at this moment because this could become a really long video. But I'm going to leave the links, and I want you to educate yourselves, because really all it takes is that one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's been proven too. Oh, the LGBTQ youth who feel like they have at least one person to talk to and lean on are ridiculously less likely to attempt self-harm or suicide. So you might be like, well, what do? I don't have anybody who is, gay youth in my circle, in my community. Well, number one, you do. There's someone that you know who is in touch or family with or whatever, someone who's gay and feels totally fucking alone. Do you know the easiest way to help any section of minorities feel good? Accept them. Don't treat them differently. Treat them how you would treat any of your other friends. Be kind. Listen when they speak to you. Hear their stories. Honestly, hear their stories. It will change your life forever, and you will never feel the same again, because you will realize that you have so much more going for you, and you have so much more accessible. You have privilege. And I know that that's a big word going around right now, but it's true, especially if you are a straight, white, anything, you have more privilege. I will also say that, like, for some reason, I don't get this. Someone explain this to me. As a bisexual woman, people don't care, which makes no sense to me. Because for some reason, like, bisexual women are looked at like objects. And what I mean by that is, like, it's like cool. Like, to guys, it's cool. I mean, I don't get that. If you're gonna treat me like it's cool, then you need to treat my gay friends like they're cool, and you need to treat my trans friends like they're cool, and you need to treat my pansexual friends like they're cool, and my non-binary friends like they're cool. Like, you can't just say, oh, well, this is cool because, like, I could probably have a threesome with you, because guess what? No, you can't. Just be kind. Like, I kind of became a little bit of like a trans gay youth mama to, like, my little group of people, because I love them so much. And it's just so simple. Like, you just don't care. Meaning, not that you don't care about them, but you don't let those aspects of their life determine how you love them. I think that you love whoever you love. I think that you identify however you identify. And I think that it's fucked up that people have to explain that, and that people have to face hardships, and they have to be treated differently, and they have to overcome barriers that are put in front of them simply because of how they see themselves and how they love someone else. That is fucking stupid to me. In my industry, like, there's a lot of LGBTQ individuals. Mind you, I've never had a problem with anybody. I've said that a million times, but I never have. But it's like, if you're in my industry, like, if you have a problem with gay people, like, don't work in my industry. Get out. Anything beauty and fashion related, if you don't like gay people, you best move on, girl. But, like, honestly, just listen to people, man. Like, listen to people's stories, support them, love on them. Because, it's really not that hard. Oh, P definitely left this open as a little dress. Okay, and parents, be ready, because we don't know. When you bring a kid into this world, you aren't bringing a kid in and being like, my kid won't ever, my kid can't ever. No, you bring a child into the world knowing that they are a human, and they will feel things, and that they will identify things, and that they will love what they love. And you can't mold kids into being you or what you deem acceptable. If my daughter came home one day and said, Mom, I think I want to date a girl, I'd be like, dope, bring her over. Like, cool, whatever. Or if my daughter came home one day and said, Mom, my friend so-and-so came out to their parents and they won't let them live there anymore. Well, guess what? You have a spot in my home, because I will love you regardless. I covered that with a little bit of that Harry, okay? But seriously, like, we've got to stop doing this to our kids, man, because what kids see is that it's scary to tell your parents, and it's scary to feel things that aren't, normal, which is completely normal. It's completely normal. You should be able to feel whatever you feel, and you should be able to talk about it. If you or someone you know and love are within the community and you haven't come out, or you're scared to come out, or you need someone to talk to, or you've come out and it just hasn't gone well and you feel alone, please feel free to inbox me. Please feel free to comment on this video. Follow me on whatever social media platform you want to. I am with you, and I'll be here for you, even if no one else is, because that's the job of normal loving people is to just care about people, and that's all I care about is people. So I just want you to know that you're not alone, and you don't have to like stay in the dark. You really don't. Also, parents, I'm begging you to please teach your children about how people are not all the same. Please teach your children that it is okay to love whoever you want to love, and that if other people love differently than you, that's totally acceptable. It's fine. We don't need to judge them. It's fine. Like, skin color is not a problem. Gender identity is not a problem. Sexuality is not a problem. That's the only way that we raise a generation that is kind and really brings difference to this world, because right now we are stuck with offices that are full of old, schooled, fucked up mentality having white men who want to make all these fucked up decisions for people, and they can never understand what it's like to live a day in their shoes. So all I'm saying is let's do our part to raise a better generation so that our grandkids and our great-grandkids are about as healthy as they can be. On that note, here is my makeup. Ooh, ooh. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, notify yourself whenever I have a new video, which is every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm working on that, by the way. I'm not always great at it, but I'm working on it. Yeah, I have just not liked the videos I've recorded lately, but it's fine. Also, please don't forget to check out the Lifestyle Unfiltered podcast from last week. You can find it on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. I'm just very passionate about it. I'm passionate about all social issues, but I'm just very passionate about it. So I would really love if you guys check that out and shared it, especially with any of your Caucasian friends who may be a little bit on the fence or not really understanding right now. I think it's a great perspective to have. Without further ado, I love you, all of you, no matter what you're like, no matter what your skin looks like, no matter who you love, no matter how you identify. I love you because you are valuable and you're worthy. Okay, so I'll see y'all next time. I hope you have a good weekend, and we'll be back for a super solid Mental Health Monday. Bye!